Imagine going on the dark web and finding a mysterious listing for shoes. Now, these shoes are anything but normal because they're accompanied by people's names, age, and they're covered in blood. What would you do? Well, a man that goes by Shiloh WWE on TikTok decided to purchase a pair of shoes from the dark web. And now I'm gonna share with you everything that has happened since buying these shoes off the dark web, including finding a tracking device in the shoes, finding out if it is real blood, and a mysterious USB that plays a cryptic video. We'll be covering this and more only in today's video. Shiloh Hill is an American pro wrestler and former college football player. He's currently signed with WWE, where he performs on NXT. I don't know anything about wrestling, so I have no idea what that means. He's also been getting mentored by the one and only The Undertaker himself. See, now I do know that guy, and it's a big deal. So this guy's a big deal. Enough to say that his career is really taking off. But it may not be for long, because day by day, things keep getting stranger and stranger for him. It all started when he bought a pair of shoes off of the dark web. This was the first video that he posted about these shoes. It showed him scrolling on a website, and it says like he gets an unsettling feeling about this. And in fact, I even did a video covering this case. If you know, you know. The shoes on the website are dirty and worn, and a lot of them have blood stains. If you look at the description under each listing, it shows the shoe size and price, and then the shoe has a name and an age. A lot of the shoes have ages that are pretty young, like 22, 18, 16. And you might be thinking, oh, is this, maybe how long somebody had this pair of shoe for? No, a lot of people are like, that's the age of the person that passed away in these shoes. Or at least that's what people were thinking. Why would you buy a pair of used, ratty shoes covered in dirt and God knows what else for like $200? Unless that's kind of your thing, but that's a different kink, okay? There was a lot of suspicion, right? People thought that when you buy the shoes, you are buying a deceased person, like a person's body, which, is illegal, but it's on the dark web, so you can apparently do that on the dark web. Or you're just buying the shoes and people think that it's shoes that people passed away in or something like that. So we didn't quite know, but those were the two theories. That if he ordered the shoes, it was either gonna be the shoes that come from the person that passed away, or it's gonna be the body wearing the shoes. In Shiloh's next video, he gave us more context, and he said that it's a shoe market on the dark web called the Shoeman. Whatever you do not go on this website and do not order shoes because, well, you're about to find out why, okay? So Shiloh went back on the website and he saw that muddy flip-flops were going for $160, and you can see that, obviously, it looks like red stuff is splashed on it. So it looks like blood is on it. Other people think that maybe it was like a side hustle from a morgue. Like, hey, come get these shoes, for anyone that was like a collector of like weird stuff. There's people out there that they have a museum and they collect like bones, murder weapons, that kind of thing. Well, he decided to buy a pair of boots. He had no idea what he was getting himself into when he bought these boots, and everyone was guessing what was gonna arrive. But the boots did arrive, and it was just the boots, no body. He then decided that he was going to test the boots to see if the red liquid was actually blood. So he got hydrogen peroxide, which if you don't know, hydrogen peroxide, when splashed on blood, even if it's dry blood, it will foam. And what happens? It foamed, okay? So it wasn't a good sign. People were like, yep, it's real. And along with the boots came a mysterious VHS tape. Who has VHS tapes anymore? I don't know. People thought it was then going to be the video of the person losing their life, right? So you buy the boots and you buy the tape of, what happened. So then he was like, okay, I need to buy a VHS player. And it's creepy. It's creepy. The VHS video was a bunch of random footage spliced together, and it was very creepy. It's an hour-long tape. At first, it looks like there's clips from random commercials interspliced with a logo that says The Shoeman. Again, the name of the dark web website. He actually took the VHS video and uploaded it on his YouTube channel, but then took it down right after because he wasn't allowed to show the contest on that tape, obviously. In a later video, he goes into more detail of what was on the tape, and he said that there was a clip of someone wearing a pair of shoes, his shoes that he bought, and said that the person wasn't moving. So it is what we thought it would be.
Basically, it's just a bunch of messages and old movie clips pasted together, and then there are a bunch of slots called submissions, where it just says like a name and submission. Some of those submission spots have videos inside of them where the boots are shown, and if those are real, they're pretty messed up.
And then there was this other weird footage of like a lady speaking, and it sounded like she was speaking gibberish, but I created a video talking about it, and I'm like, yo, play the message backwards. It's backmasking. They put a message of her speaking backwards. And when you did, it revealed something very horrifying.
Oh, only the devil knows that. I heard her moving things all around that room all night. Never heard such goings on.
What does that mean? I have no idea. At this point, Shiloh's getting really creeped out, and he thinks that he's gonna end up on the Shoeman website, like somebody's gonna take him out, and then his name is gonna be up on the website, and a videotape of him is gonna be there, and it's like a cycle that whoever, buys one of these shoes is the next victim. So he's really scared. And then he finds a tracking device in the boot. Because he's so paranoid, even though they literally have his address. Anyway, he takes apart the boot, and in the heel, he finds a SIM card. And he figures, oh my gosh, it's literally a tracking device. So he buys a cheap flip phone, and then he inserts the SIM card into it to see what was on it.
The SIM card is definitely functional in terms of cellular data, which means we gotta plug into this thing and see what it was sending.
Let me just say, Shiloh is very good at computers, okay? If this guy wanted to switch from wrestling to like hacking, he could. Because I don't know, he just did some fancy detective work, and I don't know, he's crazy. But he was able to discover that his location was being sent to some server somewhere, and he ends up getting a phone number, and he thinks that it's the phone number to this Shoeman. So what does he do? He calls the number. He did this actually on a live stream so that, he could document it.
I know who you are. I know what you did. And if you found this number,
Sounds hella
I'm coming for you.
seductive.
Price must be paid.
Isn't that scary? This dude sounds like Jigsaw. But I would be so scared, but Shiloh is finding this entertaining. He decides to put his wrestling promo on the Shoeman, and then he leaves a message behind.
I'm coming for you. I know who you are and what you did, and I'm gonna pay that price.
He ends up calling the number back a few days later, and this time the voicemail sounds like a completely different guy.
For you. I need to explain. I've been trying to message you. I can't see the number you called from. Text me. At the tone.
And then he tries to then text the number and ask why it was tracking him.
Sorry for the delay. Couldn't get a signal for a few days. Look, I've seen your videos. I know who you are. I know you think you know who I am, but you have it backwards. The tracker is mine. I was just trying to see where they went, but he never even put them on. I can't say too much on here, but I'm on your side. I don't want you to do what I did. More are on the way. Do not trust the Shoeman.
So it turns out Shiloh may not have actually been talking to the Shoeman. Whoever this person is, they're making it seem like they're on Shiloh's side, like maybe they were trying to keep tabs on the bad guy. After texting back and forth with this mystery guy, this turns out to be his claim.
Basically, what the guy is claiming is that he is not the Shoeman or the guy that sold me the shoes. He was someone who bought the shoes previously or rented the shoes previously. Specifically, he's claiming to be Dante, which is a name that has a submission slot on the VHS. What he's trying to say is that he put the tracker in the boot in order to try to track the Shoeman when the Shoeman came to get the boots again.
So the plot thickens at this point, and it's getting scary, okay? And like, can we trust this Dante dude? Who knows? And then out of nowhere, Shiloh receives another package, and he did not order this package. It's another pair of boots associated with another VHS tape. Now, because he is a pro wrestler, he travels a lot. So when he got this package, he actually had to leave on a flight, so he wasn't able to look into it until he was back. So when he comes back, he decides to inspect the package further and finds that it also comes with a phone. On the phone was a contact list with a single phone number. Watch what happens when he calls it.
And when I call the number, My burner phone rings.
When he looks at the incoming call on this burner phone, the number listed is the one that he'd been texting this whole time. So what does that even mean? Presumably, the Shoeman had now shipped the mysterious Dante guy's phone to Shiloh along with a pair of boots. So it seems like the Shoeman took Dante, him, and then sent his shoes to Shiloh to be like, look, buddy, we got your little friend you were talking to. Isn't that horrifying? And then this is where it takes an even creepier turn. Shiloh's worst fear comes true. He goes back on the website and his name is on there with his age and a hefty price tag on a pair of boots, and all it says is coming soon. And this is when he decides to take a step back from posting. I mean, I would too, and I would run away because, hello, it clearly says that the Shoeman is coming after him and he's next. And then another box arrived. Now, the first pair of shoes that Shiloh received had been apparently shipped to a P.O. box. He'd also received an additional 2 packages that he hadn't made videos about and just tossed them, hoping that if he stopped playing along, all the weirdness would stop. But when this new package showed up to his front step, he knew that this wasn't going to go away. So then he decided to go and retrieve the packages that he had just thrown out from his P.O. box to be like, okay, let's open this and see what it is and get to the bottom of this. Obviously, it was another pair of shoes, and these were probably the dirtiest pair that he had received. And then inside one of the shoes was this red pinkish goo. Even more disgusting, maggots were crawling around in the shoe. One of the theories is that this was just an elaborate plot to, you know, do promo for his wrestling, which would be so smart, but who's got time to go out and get maggots and put them in a shoe? Disgusting. So then folks were like, you should go get luminol and put it on the shoes because that is also what shows blood. Luminol is a chemical that glows blue when it reacts with an oxidizing agent like iron, which is found in blood. It's famously used in forensics, and Shiloh actually had done that earlier with the other pairs and they all glowed bright blue. Along with the maggot shoes, there was obviously another VHS tape, which he also posted on his YouTube channel. Most of it is incomprehensible. It's footage taken at night. The cameraman moves through a quiet neighborhood as ambient music plays. Every once in a while, a cryptic message will flash on screen. It's very bizarre and very unsettling. That's all we have so far. It's been a couple of weeks and that was the latest update, and he's still alive, he's still kicking. And so obviously we have the theories. He's a pretty busy guy. I don't know if he had time to do all this work or if he has a management team that did all that, but you can let me know in the comments below what you think, but it's pretty horrifying. There's a reason people are like, don't go on the dark web. You know, you can get illegal stuff like bodies, stolen credit cards, fake passports. You can get a hacking service and apparently shoes of deceased people. Sometimes if you go on the dark web, they can hack into your computer or see who is accessing it. I remember reading a story that somebody posted on Reddit that they went on the dark web just for fun and they got a message or an email later on being like, you shouldn't be on here, get off. Anyways, if anything happens with Shiloh, I will give you all a update. He followed me back on TikTok, so shout out you, Shiloh Hill. Hope you're doing great. But yeah, until then, stay off the dark web, be safe, don't buy creepy shoes. I've been your host, Lindsay Ivan. Stick around for some bloopers, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye. Imagine going on the dark web and deciding to order, wow. Now he's been buying, oh. So Shiloh said, so let me just say at this point, Shiloh Hill become, but when this new package showed up right in, even more disgusting, most of it is pretty most of it is pretty, I don't know how, incomprehensible. Every once in a while, a cryptic message will flash on. Wow. So then obviously we have the theories.